news continues to pour in this morning as we shift to our top story regarding the war in Ukraine.
The settlement of Brodyanka faces devastation as Russian troops continue to advance toward Ukraine's capital.
Now, Brodyanka is about 36 miles northwest of Kyiv. Video shows shell-damaged buildings, fires in the streets, and destroyed military vehicles.
The Russian military has yet to overthrow the government in Kyiv, but thousands are reported to have died or been injured.
Nearly 1 million Ukrainians have already fled in search of safety in neighboring countries.
And later today, diplomatic teams from Russia and Ukraine will meet on neutral ground for their second face-to-face discussion since Russian troops invaded 8 days ago.
This meeting comes as the fighting escalates and more than 800,000 Ukrainians again have fled, half of those to Poland alone.
Among those, toddlers and teenagers stepping from rail cars into the arms of strangers, all a part of what the Polish army calls a special mission. So overnight saving 2,000 kids, many of them orphans, brought to Poland.
As Russian forces seemingly tighten their grip on the country, the scars from a full week of war are now clearly evident in the cities of Lviv, Kharkiv, and the capital city of Kyiv.
We are waiting that this is some nightmare where we are going to wake up. This is impossible. Bombing of Kiev, invading from Belarus, from Russia.
Still, the relentless attacks cannot seem to break the resolve of those fighting to protect their homeland as civilians join soldiers on the front lines.
The United Nations General Assembly has overwhelmingly voted to condemn Russia. The vote, 141 in favor, 5 nations voting against, and 35 countries abstaining. A standing ovation, which is a rare event in the General Assembly, occurred. You see it right here after the final result of the vote was put up on the main screen in the chamber. The resolution also demands Russia immediately withdraws all of their troops from Ukraine. Now, the condemnation is legally non-binding, but it does carry some political weight still. It most likely won't have much of an impression on those in Moscow.
U.S. lawmakers are also officially declaring they stand with Ukraine. Yesterday, the House overwhelmingly passed a symbolic resolution of support for the country. Ukrainian-born Congresswoman Victoria Spartz co-sponsored that resolution, which calls for an immediate ceasefire and full withdrawal of Russian forces from the Ukrainian territory. It also presses the United States to send security assistance to Ukraine. Now, the U.S. has given more than $1 billion in security assistance to the country over the last year, including $350 million aid package just this last week. 3 Republicans voted against the resolution.
And for the first time, Russia is confirming a large number of military deaths in Ukraine. The Russian Military Defense Ministry says that nearly 500 Russian troops have been killed and almost 1,600 have been injured. This while some outside analysts estimate that number could be much larger. Until now, Russia's only focused and confirmed the number of destroyed military outpost weapons and equipment, as the Russian government is at the same time cracking down on how their actions in Ukraine are being reported. Media outlets in Russia face fines or being blocked for using words like war or invasion, and thousands of anti-war protesters have been arrested since the conflict began.
The stock price